Japan is a country that never fails to surprise its visitors. The stories shared by my foreign friends about their experiences in Japan have always been fascinating. And today I'm going to share 10 amazing things that my friends discovered during their time in Japan. These moments not only left them amazed, but also gave them a deeper appreciation for the culture. So, let's dive in. 1. The unbelievable punctuality of trains. My American friend Sarah was absolutely shocked by how punctual the trains were in Japan. She had just arrived in Tokyo and, after settling into her hotel, she planned to take the train to a famous shrine. She thought she had enough time, but when she checked the schedule, she was amazed that the train arrived exactly on time. In my country, I've never seen trains on time like this. Sometimes they're delayed by 10 minutes or even more, she said. In Japan, even a 1-minute delay is considered a big deal. And the punctuality isn't just about schedules. It reflects a deep cultural respect for others' time. Being late in Japan is seen as rude not just to the person you're meeting, but to everyone waiting around you. It's a simple yet powerful reminder that time is valuable and must be respected. 2. The silence in public spaces. Sarah was also surprised by the eerie silence in public spaces. She remembers taking the subway during rush hour, expecting it to be noisy and chaotic, like in many parts of the world. But, to her surprise, the train was crowded, yet eerily quiet. People were sitting or standing, all with their heads buried in their phones or books, and nobody was speaking. It felt like I had entered a different world, where noise wasn't allowed, she said, coming from a country where public spaces are often filled with chatter. This was a huge cultural shift for Sarah. She soon learned that in Japan, the silent atmosphere in public spaces is not just about not disturbing others, but about showing respect for everyone around. The quietness reflects the Japanese value of harmony where every action is taken with consideration for the group. 3. High-tech toilets. Another shocking experience Sarah had was when she encountered Japan's high-tech toilets for the first time. I was totally confused. There were so many buttons, and I had no idea what any of them did, she laughed. The heated seats, the sound masking feature, and the adjustable water pressure were all completely new to her. At first, I was afraid I'd press the wrong button and accidentally spray myself, she said. But after using the toilet a few times, she quickly got used to the technology and realized how comfortable and hygienic they were. Compared to the outdated, often dirty toilets back home, Japan places a huge emphasis on cleanliness and hygiene, and the advanced toilet technology is a reflection of that cultural value. Not only do these toilets enhance comfort, but they also show how much Japan values personal privacy and respect for others. 4. The sound of slurping noodles. When my Australian friend James visited Japan, he couldn't understand why people were slurping noodles so loudly in ramen shops. I've always been taught that making noise while eating is bad manners, especially in a formal setting, he explained. But when he saw the locals slurping away, he was taken aback. I was worried that people would judge me if I made any noise, he said. However, as time passed, he noticed that people didn't mind at all and, in fact, seemed to enjoy their ramen more with every slurp. Eventually, James gave it a try, and to his surprise, the noodles tasted even better. Slurping ramen, he learned, is not just a quirky habit, it's a way to enhance the flavor by aerating the broth. The louder you slurp, the better the taste. And it's a unique part of Japanese culinary culture. It's a way of showing appreciation for the food and the chef's skill. 5. The beauty of cherry blossoms and mono no aware. My British friend Mark was in Japan during cherry blossom season, and joined his Japanese friends for a hanami picnic. At first, he didn't understand why everyone was so excited about the flowers. But when he saw the cherry blossoms in full bloom, he was mesmerized by their beauty and the fleeting nature of the blossoms. It felt like the world paused for a moment, he told me. But the beauty was short-lived, and within a few days, the flowers fell from the trees. This short-lived beauty, Mark realized, was symbolic of the Japanese concept of mono no aware, which means the transient beauty of life. In Japan, the fleeting nature of life and beauty is something to be cherished, because it reminds people to appreciate the present moment, knowing that it won't last forever. 6. Incredible customer service. James also had a funny but memorable experience when he lost his wallet at a store. A few minutes later, the shopkeeper rushed to him and handed it back, completely intact. I've never experienced anything like that before, he said. Japan's customer service is incredibly detailed and focused on making sure customers feel valued and respected. It's not just about giving you what you paid for. It's about making you feel special, like the shopkeeper truly cares about your experience. It's a part of the Japanese cultural value of respect, where every interaction is meant to be polite, sincere, and helpful. 7. The respectful gesture of bowing. Mark noticed that people in Japan are always bowing to each other. Whether it's a formal bow or a casual nod, people are constantly showing respect to one another through this simple gesture. At first, I didn't really understand why they bow so much, he said, but then I realized it's all about respect and humility. In Japan, bowing is more than just a greeting, it's a way of showing appreciation, expressing gratitude, and even apologizing. It's a small action that carries a deep cultural meaning, reflecting how much Japanese society values mutual respect and humility. 8. Vending machines everywhere. Sarah couldn't believe how many vending machines there were in Japan. It's like everywhere you go, you find a vending machine. Turn a corner, and there's another one, she said. From drinks to hot meals, Japan's vending machines are not just convenient but incredibly diverse. You can buy anything from a cold bottle of water to a hot cup of coffee, or even a hot meal from a vending machine. It's a great example of Japan's focus on efficiency and convenience, making everyday life a little bit easier for everyone. 9. Respect for nature. Sarah was also impressed by the Japanese respect for nature, especially when she went hiking in the mountains. The trails were so clean and well maintained, and it was clear that people really took care of the environment, she said. In Japan, there's a strong cultural focus on living in harmony with nature. People are taught from a young age to respect the environment and take care of the natural world around them, from the way people clean up after themselves in public spaces to the efforts made to preserve nature. This respect for the environment is deeply ingrained in Japanese culture. 10. Attention to detail in everyday life. Finally, Sarah was struck by how every aspect of life in Japan is infused with attention to detail. Whether it's a beautifully packaged product or a meticulously arranged meal, everything in Japan seems to be carefully thought out. It's amazing how much attention people pay to even the smallest details, she said. This is part of the Japanese cultural value of perfectionism, where everything is done to the highest standard possible. It's a reflection of the idea that every moment, no matter how small, should be treated with care and respect. As I listened to these stories, I realized that Japan's culture is built around the core values of respect, harmony, and balance. From the punctuality of trains to the reverence for nature, every little thing in Japanese culture serves to maintain social order and ensure that everyone respects each other's time and space. These cultural traits might seem small or even quirky, but they play a big role in creating a society where everyone can live in harmony. So, if you ever visit Japan, make sure to take a moment to appreciate the unique aspects of the culture. Whether you're enjoying a peaceful train ride, having a bowl of ramen, or admiring the cherry blossoms, there's always something new and amazing to discover. If you've ever experienced something surprising or unexpected in Japan, feel free to share your stories in the comments below. And if you liked this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating insights into Japanese culture.